Hey guys, it's Jess from Madden Crafts with another Crafty Hangout. I've partnered with craftyhangouts.com and expressionary.com this year to bring you a series of creative tutorials. Earlier this year, I showed you how to make an end of the year thank you gift for your child's teacher. A couple months ago, I showed you some tips for using expressionary address stamps to keep track of your kids' school belongings. And today I'm going to show you 5 different ways to decorate your place settings for Thanksgiving. I think Thanksgiving is the one meal a year where even if you don't sit down and eat at the table every night for dinner, we certainly don't, you feel like for Thanksgiving you want to have a nice sit-down dinner. Maybe it's a little elevated, a little bit more fancy than your typical dinners would be. And one of the ways to make your table look just slightly fancier without putting a lot of effort into it is by creating personalized place cards for each person. It doesn't have to take a lot of time. It doesn't have to cost much money at all, but it just kind of elevates your dinner from, you know, everybody sitting in front of the TV watching football, which is fine, to just kind of a nicer, more memorable dinner party. So I'm going to show you a couple of ways that I used an expressionary stamp to create some decorations for a Thanksgiving table place setting. This is the stamp that I chose from Expressionary. It is called the Monogram Wreath wooden stamp, and I really like their wood stamps. They're very sturdy and easy to use. And the other thing I liked about this stamp was that it is so versatile. Because it's just sort of a leafy wreath around the monogram, of course, it fits very well for fall dinner parties, but if you mix it with a metallic color palette or red or green, obviously it can go right to Christmas. If you use more floral colors, you can use this for an Easter table. You can use it for a wedding and just use your wedding colors for the ink or for the paper. You can really use this a lot of different ways, which is one of the reasons I was excited to get it. Let me show you what it looks like as an actual stamp. I'm using Stays On ink today just because I'm using a variety of different surfaces, but you can use any regular stamp ink with the expressionary stamps. All right, so I just quickly stamped on a piece of scrap paper, and you can see that's what the stamp looks like once you've inked it onto paper. It's very pretty, not too formal, but it's kind of a neutral design, so you can use it in a lot of different applications. All right, so let's get to the projects I want to show you. All of them will use this particular stamp. One of the easiest and probably most common ways to create a quick place marker for Thanksgiving is to use a pumpkin. Now, this happens to be a ceramic pumpkin that I got at the dollar store, but you can find miniature pumpkins like the baby boos, the white pumpkins, or even orange pumpkins that are very small, and you can get them for, you know, maybe 2 or 3 for $1. And you can buy one for each place setting. Just make sure that the stem is still attached because that's where you're going to attach your place card. I used some plain craft paper tags from the craft store. They're already cut to size. They already have the hole punched and a string attached, which saves you a lot of time. If you want to save a little bit of money but spend a little more time, you can buy the paper yourself and cut it out with scissors or with your cutting machine. It will take a little bit longer, but it may be a little bit cheaper in the end. I had these on hand, so it was free for me. I took that craft paper stamp and used my expressionary, or the craft paper tag, excuse me, and used my expressionary stamp right in the middle. I added some gold glitter tape. You could also use washi tape or ribbon and glue to add a little embellishment near the bottom. And then at the very bottom, you can use I used a gold metallic marker, but you can use any marker to write the guest's name at the very bottom of the tag. And then you just have to take the string from the top of the tag and slip it onto the pumpkin and set that right on the plate. And that way each person knows where he or she can sit, and it's kind of a special way to dress up the place setting. So that's idea number 1. Idea number 2 involves these craft paper. You're going to see kind of a theme of white craft paper and gold in my decorations today. You can use any color scheme you like. This is just a nice neutral color scheme that I tend to default to for parties. These are just little craft paper treat bags, and you can find these either online or at the craft store. And they're just sort of thin paper bags that you can put candy or nuts or roasted sunflower or pumpkin seeds inside. That would be really good for Thanksgiving. So I just took one of those bags and did sort of the same thing I did with the tag I just showed you. I used the expressionary stamp, sealed off the treat bag with some of that glittery glitter tape, and then wrote the guest name at the very top this time instead of at the bottom. And you can place this anywhere on the place setting, and they can have a little treat before the dinner actually begins. Again, this is something that you could use for a wedding very easily. It's just, you could do a quick assembly line with the stamping and filling and taping, and then once you have your seating arrangement done, you can add all the names. So that's idea number 2. Number 3 are these very cute cards that I found at Michael's. I am not sure if you can find them at other craft stores. You could also take scrapbook paper and cut them to size. I believe these are 3x3 squares, but they're folded cards. So I guess it would be 3x6 folded in half. And what I did with this is, again, same idea. I stamped with my expressionary stamp, added the gold glitter tape, and then on the inside, I wrote the name. And all you would have to do then is set the little card right up on the plate or above the place setting, and everybody could have their little name. Another way you could personalize this would be to design the front like you did the tag and have the guest's name underneath the tape. And then on the inside, maybe write something about that person that you're thankful for, since this is a Thanksgiving table. Or you could write a Bible verse or a favorite saying inside of the card as well. All right, that's idea number 3. Number 4 takes a little bit more effort, but I think it is really cool in the end. This is a paper gift box that I made just out of regular scrap paper. You can buy the big pads at the craft store. And again, I have sort of the brown, white, and gold theme going on. You can buy pre-made boxes like this, either online or in the craft store again, or you can make your own. I have a special punch that allows me to use any scrap paper to make the boxes. Whichever route you decide to go, before the boxes are fully assembled, you want to stamp onto the box. If you try to do it after you've already assembled the box, it will crush it or dent it and make it not as pretty. So make sure before you fold it all up is when you add the stamp, and then seal it off. Obviously stuff it with something first, some candy or some other kind of treat, and then use the gold glitter tape or washi tape to seal it all off. The last idea I have for you is very, very basic, and this is kind of a neat trick for any party, not just a Thanksgiving dinner party. I'm going to scoot this back a little bit so you can angle down and look at my workspace. A lot of times when I have a party, I just default to paper party supplies because at the end of the night, it's a lot easier to get rid of paper plates and paper napkins than to do all the dishes. Sometimes for Thanksgiving, I feel a little bit bad about having paper napkins out. So this is a nice way to just quickly elevate a paper napkin and make it a little bit more special. You see, I'm lifting up just the top layer of the napkin and adding some scrap paper underneath. That's just so it doesn't bleed through everywhere. And then you take your expressionary stamp, ink it up, make sure I have it facing the right way. And then right in the corner, you can just stamp that monogram. And now your paper napkin is personalized for your dinner. And this is a fun trick you can do for any party. You can use birthday stamps for birthdays, or if you have a wedding, maybe you'll get the couple's full monogram, the 3-letter monogram. And it takes a little bit of effort, but it really elevates just a simple, cheap paper napkin into something a little bit more special. All right. So those are my 5 ideas for using expressionary wooden monogram stamps to decorate your Thanksgiving table. If you have any other ideas for how to use these expressionary stamps, please leave me a comment below. I would love to hear them. If you are worried that I have skipped a holiday and I have completely ignored Halloween, please hop over to craftyhangouts.com where you will find more expressionary projects from other crafty bloggers, including projects every month, including Halloween, if you're worried that I've missed that. If you don't already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. You get crafty tutorials like this every week, and you get earlier access by being a subscriber on my YouTube channel than you would if you just follow me on my blog. For other creative tutorials, please hop over to maddencrafts.com. I have lots of party ideas, crafts, and recipes for you to explore. And give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Thank you once again to craftyhangouts.com and expressionary.com, and I will see you next time. Bye.